Thank you, members of the council. Thank you for the consultant for doing all that hard work. As the consultant had mentioned, the HCD had concerns about the Planning Commission the items A and E, which is also in my comments on page 419 of the package, that comments A and E, and I would also argue H, will require reanalysis from HCD to determine how the math works on the housing element, because you're adding barriers to affirmatively further fair housing, and you're also adding a discretionary process. And the state is eliminating discretion, and this is why they're doing that. By the way, I know that members of the city council have lobbied the state to change the laws, to lobby the legislature, and the state has declined to do so. And the reason the state has declined to change the laws is because we have a housing crisis with 1.4 million units short in the entire Southern California region. We have a climate change goals where we have to reduce climate change emissions, greenhouse gas emissions, by 80% by 2050. So the state has not changed the laws, despite the action, despite the comments and concerns of some of the residents and the members of the city council. And so it's imperative that the state, that the state continue to enforce their laws, and that the city council follow the laws. I mean, we have laws that are, that are enacted by our state officials, which we all elected. Our governor was elected overwhelmingly by Alhambra residents. State legislatures being elected overwhelmingly. We have, we have all that. We need to follow the law. And as I mentioned in my letter, some of the changes that Planning Commission wanted are non-substantive. I don't think that's a reason for HCD to reject the Planning Commission. I've said so, in that letter, and I will also follow up with HCD, as is my right to do so under the comment period after the housing element is released to HCD. But when you make changes like A and E, that you get reanalysis, more money going to the consultant. In November, you issue the change order to the consultant, add more work. You're going to have to add more work to the consultant, more cost. If you don't approve a housing element, members of the city council said builder's remedy is an issue, attorney general complaints, fines, all sorts of stuff. I mean, Alhambra residents in 2020, they passed the sales tax increase, and they wanted it to go to more services for a community like police, fire, parks, libraries, those sort of things. I don't think anybody in March 2020 said, oh, I want to spend more money on consultants. No offense to the consultant, obviously, but, they didn't want to spend more money on staff time to, go back and forth with HCD. They didn't spend money on, legal fees, on, fines, bad reputation. I mean, some of the cities like to do that. Huntington Beach, La Peña, Flint Ridge, they like to be antagonistic towards the state. They think the state legislature is, bad thing. We have people, on city council who want to be on the state legislature. That's not a good look, to the state. So I would strongly encourage that the Planning Commission's recommendations on items A and E and H, in my opinion, be rejected. Follow the directions of your consultant to move forward, get this thing done, and then you have a zoning code updates to get done. And, Alhambra can be out of this cloud, and we can all move forward and do things that the city wants to do, not spend money on consultants, attorneys, and, back and forth with state officials. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comments, sir.
The next speaker